Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's the last day of the month, September 30th. I hope this message finds you safe and well. Especially amidst everything going on. It's a heavy time. The energies are really intense. I definitely feel it. If you see smoke billowing, I've got sage burning. This is kind of a heavier message for me. I really did not want to give this message today, but I just couldn't avoid it. I'm now getting to the point where I'm getting more and more clear on my giftings and like knowing when I need to deliver a channel message, and if I don't do it, it just like eats away at me. And I get visions now. I'll wake up with dreams. I'll get song downloads. Like, it's getting kind of interesting. I'm excited to do this work because I really feel like it's what I'm called to do and meant to do. But sometimes I don't want to talk about what it is I need to talk about, especially today. The topic is just emotional manipulation, and it's a topic that I feel pretty versed in. I'm no expert in anything. There's a lot I don't know, but I do feel like you go through things in life and you have some life experiences and they can teach you a lot of things, and I'm going to trust that this message is meant for somebody. And please know, these messages, anytime anybody has any kind of channeled message, it's timeless, that you will receive the guidance that you need when you need it. So whether you're getting this today, September 30th, or a year from now, or 6 months from now, know that it's going to come across your path when you need it, or when you need it for someone else. So the theme today is speak your truth. Okay, and I'm going to put the cards against this thing. Somebody had a real problem with this thing falling all over the time. I realize it's irritating and distracting, but if my whole message throws you off because of this falling over for 10 seconds, ask yourself why you're allowing yourself to get distracted. Are you being judgy, or are you that distracted? That's your issue, not mine, I feel. But just being real with you, but I do, want to put my best foot forward here. So I'm going to lean this against here, and I'll stack the cards in there. I'll show you them as I go. But as I go further and further into this journey of understanding that this is my gifting, to talk about things that are prevalent going on in the world and life, to help you cultivate more Zen in your day, hence the Zen zone, whether that be just to help you heal or give you hope or confidence, clarity, and comfort. I don't know what that changes from day to day, but today I really felt like this was going to be an informative message. I really feel right now there is so much heaviness going on, and a lot of it is just like darker energies versus light energies, like heavier versus lighter, like love versus hate, and like truth versus lies. Like, I've talked about that before, but I really feel like if you aren't aware of what that actually means and how that may be showing up in your life, you could really be putting yourself in danger. And like I said, as I go on this journey, I now get like music downloads. I wake up with visions, or I'll have visions. I'll wake up with like really intense dreams, and one in particular that I had a few weeks ago is just continuing to haunt me, and I really felt like I needed to talk about emotional abuse, mental emotional abuse. And I feel like the message is just, the card, I like to do the past, present, future. I got a lot of cards today, but I feel like, I hope this doesn't trigger anybody, but if it does, ask yourself why. But surrendering to low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. That's kind of a big deal. Like, a lot of times we attract relationships into our life a lot of times based on our vibration rate, our energy at the moment. And sometimes we can attract a lot of toxic people. And it's not because we're necessarily vibing low, but like, it can be teaching us something. And a lot of toxic energies are attracted to light, because the truth of the matter is, you really, really need to be aware of who you're hitching your trailer to. And I mean, not just in like getting married to, like hitch, the word hitch that way, but like anytime you engage in any kind of anything, the moment you wake up and you get on social media, you're having an energy exchange. The moment you're having a conversation with somebody at your workplace or on the phone, or choosing to hang out with friends or go out with friends, or romantic relationships, there's an energy exchange going on there. We really need to be careful. We need to be really careful about who we're hitching our trailer to, because the vision that I got, I'll talk about that in a minute, I guess. Like, I just started becoming really aware of how prevalent this is when I kind of didn't realize how much I changed and grew. And now, like, people that I have conversations with that I used to just, like, chat with freely before, I now, like, I had a particular situation where I was having a conversation with a friend and had many conversations with this friend in a while, but it had been a while since we talked. And when I got off the phone, I just felt really drained, and like I had woke up, was having a great old time, and I felt really drained and just like angsty and edgy. And I'm like, what the heck's going on with me? And I had to realize, like, oh my gosh, like that phone conversation threw me off. And you know, a lot of times people can learn to lean on you if you're a good listener, or if you're a helper, or if you're just always giving unconditional love. People, that's a great quality, and people need that in the world. But a lot of times people can kind of be dependent on it without realizing it. And I'm not saying they're intentionally doing anything to harm you, but people know who their go-tos are, of the one that's always going to be the fixer, the doer, the listener. And like you can kind of be like a toxic energetic dump to some people, and not that they're even intentionally do it. They just know how the pattern is with you, and you got to be really careful about protecting yourself, your energy, because some people are unknowingly taking it. But there are also people, this is real now, this is the heavy part of it, there are some people who are intentionally sucking the energy out of you. That is like their whole mission in life. That is how they derive. Everybody in this class I'm taking right now, it's really amazing. It's about the soul and like what we came here to do. We kind of had a blueprint of what we're supposed to be doing, and when we get out of alignment, it can really throw things off, and you can get dysfunctional. Our gifts can get dysfunctional if we're not careful. The same goes for like who we allow into our life. Like, and there are just some people who came here and just have a negative soul. Like, the way it goes for most people is that we derive a lot of, we all have to have energy from source energy to survive, like divine universal energy. We need energy to live and thrive. And a lot of us have a good balance between like getting it from other, exchanging energy from other people, and then taking, going within, or connecting with universe, getting out in nature, talking to God, praying, whatever. A lot of us are good about having that balance. Some people only derive their energetic, like, life force from other people. That is, and they're like a negative soul bias. It doesn't necessarily mean like we have to judge them, but like it's like the laws of polarity: positive, negative, light, dark, up, down. Like, okay, there's just universal law. And when people consciously choose to keep kind of turning away from the light and away from positive things and healing and growing and things of the light and love, and the more and more choices they make like that, they kind of come into the negative realm of things. The darker entities can attach to them a lot more easily. Like, just toxic. It's just toxic. And I'm sure you all have met toxic people, or like there's just something about that person, like their energy is heavy. They just make you feel like crap when you're, they make everyone around them feel like crap. There's always drama and chaos. If you have not ever met a person like that, wow, consider yourself lucky. Consider yourself lucky, because I meet a lot of them, and I used to think there was something wrong with me, but I really now believe that this is my calling to go through these things and meet these type of people to heal and grow and know how to transform my life, and then to show other people how to do it as well, and help bring awareness to how serious it is about who you are allowing into your space, or energetic space. Now, you're not gonna be able to avoid every toxic person there out there, but you can protect yourself better, and you can like choose not to share with them about your personal life, or your dreams and goals and aspirations and your deepest, darkest secrets, because those type of people, their whole goal is to get energy from you so they can survive. Like, it's a survival thing, and they do it by any means necessary. They control, manipulate, tell lies, the blame shame game, make you feel worthless. And I really believe over time, it's a slow drip. It's a slow drip. It doesn't just usually if somebody came at you with all kinds of hateful things and comments, you would walk away. But usually the person like comes across as charming and likable and lovable and like, oh, I just love you so much. And they say all the things that you want to say, and then you kind of get like energetically latched on and attached. And then when there's a slow drip of things that are just like not right, you don't see it so much because you've already attached to this person. And you kind of create a story about who that person is in your mind. So then you can kind of say like, well, they would never do that because they love me, or I trust them, or blah, blah, blah. You believe who they say they are, but not everything that glitters is gold. And I hope that by now a lot of us have realized that. Like, you can't just take everything at face value. You really need to see things for what they are. Like, energy doesn't lie. People do, but energy doesn't lie. If you're around somebody that consistently makes you feel like crap about yourself, question yourself, like, mental abuse changes people. Like, if over time you start to trust people less, you overthink more, you shut people out, you second guess yourself, you may not even know that you're doing it, because it could be a pattern that's been going on for like your whole entire life. You may need to like really look at all areas of your life and relationships to see where you are like not speaking your truth, and where you're getting a breakdown in self-esteem, where you're not trusting people, you're on guard, you're questioning yourself, your worth, you start shutting people out, you start to not trust your own self and your own intuition. That is a telltale sign. When you start like pushing away all your intuition and is a sign of red flag. Nobody that really loves you and cares about you would want you to ever go against like what you deeply desire and who you are, and will want to see you thrive and grow. People like that are going to just suck the energy out of you. They need you for them, so they will I'm sorry, I got thrown off track. They don't really want to see you win. They don't really want to see you grow, because if you grow and win, you could potentially leave them once the jig is up and you find out who they really are. They don't want you to grow. They want you to stay small. They want you to stay stuck. They want you to keep attached. They want you to start mistrusting everyone around you, questioning people that you know deep down are good-hearted people that love you. Like, they only want you to drive. They want power over you, and they want to drive like you to only see them as like their source of like their everything, and that's very dangerous. So I had a vision recently where, and it was it was a very haunting vision, but it was somebody I know that is in a very toxic environment, and I really believe they aren't aware of how serious it is. I believe they're with somebody who is like basically one of these energy vampires. Some people, you guys, like really have like sold their soul to the devil. Like, you have to be very careful. Some people that you've decided to hitch your trailer to are like evil people, and I hate to say that, but it really is true. Do you not believe that can exist? Look at the world around us. There's so much evil out there. Do you not believe that you could have fallen prey to somebody like this? We're doing it every day. Every day we're falling prey to lies, and without knowing it. We really need to wake up, guys, and be aware of who we are around us, and who we are and who's around us. And like I said, like, fear-based, lower-based energies, they want you to stay stuck. They do not want you to grow and change. But in the present now, we can learn how to shift out of that by not giving a crap so much about what that other person thinks or feels or wants or needs, and start taking all that attention and energy that we would put on that person and put it back onto ourselves. Like, what do I need? What do I really think? Like, what do I really believe? Because you really, I mean, a lot of these people, like, they claim to be a victim. They play that victim card. Like, oh, woe is me. If you don't do this, I'm going to do this. I know some people that even threaten to kill themselves with their partner to keep them feeling stuck. And most of the time it's a bluff. Most of the time these people it's not a self-esteem issue that they have. You may have the self-esteem issue, and they're thriving off of that, and they're banking on that, and they've worked really hard to create the self-esteem issue in you, so you do not leave them. They don't usually have a self-esteem issue. That's one thing we got to get right. That's usually the misconception. They have an overinflated sense of self, like an arrogance, like they can do no wrong. And this vision that I had, you guys, was like a person being emotionally manipulated to the point that they became like a vegetable. The person had sucked basically all the life out of them. They were alive and conscious and looked good from the outside, all put together, clean shaven, but like they were a vegetable, and they were literally, this vision I had was very haunting. Like I said, it makes me want to cry just thinking about it, but they had a helmet on. Like, you know, like disabled people who really are a detriment to themselves and need to be kept safe. They have those little helmets on, like those little bike helmets, like adults, that in case they fall, that's the vision I had. And this person had like a, the vision that I had this helmet on, but it had like a strap, and it was like a little, I thought it was like a bike bell because of the bike helmet. It was like attached to their mouth. And, but no, it was one of those buzzers that zap, like if you touch it. And it was like, the vision showed me that if you are not careful, there are sometimes people around you that will literally stop at nothing, and they will just literally suck the life out of you. They have energetic cords like attached to your soul, and they are attempting to do that. That gives them power. And then this person was just laying there like a vegetable, and I thought that the bike helmet, you know, they got them to a point so much that they just were sucked dry, and that if they were to even think about speaking, that little buzzer would go up. Like, nope, you're not gonna, even if you think about leaving, if you think about speaking up, if you think about going forward, if you think about leaving me behind, if you, nope, like that's what I thought. And it was very, and then I like in this vision, I like ran over to this person, and I like was trying to help them, and like I knew exactly what was going on. And then the person that had been doing the manipulation like walked away, like, good, that's exactly what I had hoped. Good, like you can have it. I got what I wanted out of it. And that was really disturbing. And the person just walked off and like left everything kind of like in flames and in shambles, and like picking up the pieces. But at that point, don't be that person that like stays so long in something that you are like, literally, your life could literally be in danger. Like your health, your mindset, your soul, your heart, guys. Like you can get these people, I don't know. I'll stop there, but just, I feel like what we're being asked right now is to get unbound, release soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. If you get triggered by any of this on here, past lives, I know it goes against some of the things in the Christian realm and everything, but the spiritual realm, guys, your soul can go anywhere it wants. It's energy. Why can't it? It's a possibility that it has had other experiences. And even if you don't believe in that, like, it's true that past trauma can get passed down from a mom to her baby in utero. It's the same goes as like past traumas can get passed down from generation to generation and generation. Sometimes you're dealing with generational self-esteem issues, generational toxic patterns that you could be asked to break them right now. Get unbound. And I wanted to read a little bit more on this. This picture is so beautiful. I just love these cards. Get unbound. I wanted to read a little bit more about that in this book. This may go long. I'm sorry, this is a tough topic. It's time to release old soul stories that have been playing out in your life. They are coming up to be healed. There has never been a safer time to clear these patterns than right now. Take a look at the patterns in your life that you are ready to release. Ancient vows and contracts that your soul made that have an expiry date. It could be a vow of silence or chastity or poverty. It's time to unwind from them. This is the life in which you free yourself from traumas of lives past. If that bothers you, please just don't discount everything I'm saying just because you didn't like that one line. Don't be like that. Don't be a hater. Just take what you need and toss the rest, okay? But and apply it to think about it how it applies to you. This is very, very important. What old ways of being have an expiry date? When you name them, you claim them, and they stop holding power over you. When acknowledging these things and old patterns, it's also important to acknowledge how they have served you up till now. For example, a soul pattern of playing small caused by a soul fear of being seen or sharing your voice would have served you by keeping you safe. In order to grow, you now need to soften by receiving and calling in support. It's time to unbind from the old waves of being that are no longer sustainable. So you can say, I release all soul stories. You can say this to yourself. Like, it's really about setting the intention, and cutting energy cords is, it can just be one-sided in your mind, okay? And setting the intention, praying, asking your angels for help. You can just say, I release all old stories, all old soul stories, vows, contracts, and patterns that are no longer aligned with who I came here to be in the present time. I carry the lessons, growth, and gifts, but I no longer choose to live the same story. May I be unbound, forever unbound. Wow, like, guys, we're just entering a time, like, we don't need to hang on to that stuff. We're not hunters-gatherers anymore. We don't need to, like, do certain things in order to survive, like that kind of thing. We can break free. We need to, like, why has holding on to that helped you stay safe in some way? That's okay to just address it. But, you know, sometimes, guys, sometimes it's so heavy that just even cutting these, and just imagining, even just like if you need to cut cords from somebody or it's a situation, just like imagining, I hop into a hot air balloon and imagine myself like going away from that person or that situation and cutting the cord, the little rope. I've always been fascinated with hot air balloons since I was a little girl. Like, I don't know why. One even came really close to our house and we were talking to the people in the balloon, like in the basket. So I don't know, that's special to me. But imagine yourself like an eagle, but it kind of like just the cutting of something, the chains, the cords, like, and I've even had visions of people being like chained back chained to somebody. And like, you can just like, depending on how more self-esteem you get and how strong you feel, I imagine now, like if I ever feel that feeling, I cut those chains like with a bolt cutter, and I imagine me like flinging them back and then chaining that person to a wall or something like that. I don't know, like get creative with whatever you have to do. And it's sometimes not even like I said, sometimes it's not people that are just like intentionally trying to harm you, but it can be just like old past patterns, like generational patterns that are in your life, like holding you back. You know, I had to do that with something. I was like, you know, I know you mean well. I had in my mind, I'm doing this in my mind. I know you mean well. I know you love me. Like, you probably well intended, but I can't let this anymore hold me back. I need to cut the cord and like just do that. And you know what I mean? It does energetically release something. When you're ready to make that change and set that intention, it does. The other person doesn't need to be involved or know about it, and it doesn't have to be a dramatic thing. And sometimes it is a really dramatic thing. Sometimes that is not going to be enough. Like there are people doing like black magic and create spells and shit like that to keep you stuck, that when it gets really bad, especially when you start creating boundaries, especially when you start speaking your truth. People that have gotten so used to sucking the life out of you and using you for their own gain do not like it when you create boundaries. And there could be prepared, there could be a little bit of upheaval from that, and a little backlash. That's when they're really going to get the lies and manipulation and the shame, bringing up your past, exploiting your weaknesses, stuff like that, turning people against you, lies, whatever. But you still need to do it, okay? And just know and be prepared that there's going to be a little confrontation. And the thing that to help us with that right now of releasing, it's kind of funny because my coffee cup today, the last few days, the coffee cups have been really like in line with what I'm saying. I don't give a sip, okay? So you are giving too many fucks. Give zero. Okay, so stop texting, stop stalking, stop checking on that person, just fucking stop. Spend your time on someone worth it. Don't waste it on ridiculousness. So, really, really important. How you break the pattern with those type of people, whether some are really, really soft about it and they're real subtle. Some are like, no, they are really intense and you may not even be able to see how bad it is. You don't need to try to figure out like what level, degree they're doing it. You just need to know. You're giving too many, give zero. You have to change the pattern that's there, that you've created that pattern by giving too many fucks to them, over giving, helping, trying to fix, like, and then all that attention went to them and you now are depleted. Now you're lost. Now you're not sure what to do. You don't trust anybody. You're isolated, like you're withdrawn. Like, that's what I'm saying. You can get all that back. And the step one though is to stop giving so many fucks to that person. That doesn't mean that, like this card says, spend your time on someone worth it. Don't waste it on ridiculousness. It doesn't have to be a person, but a situation or job. Like if you really love being in community and having a group around you that you can support and love, that's okay. That's your gifting. That's what I'm actually here to help you figure out is your giftings. That in itself is not the problem. It's that you took that gift that you have and you spent it where it was going to get wasted and exploited and possibly destroyed. If you love helping people and you love helping people like see their potential, that's great. But don't spend it on the people that don't actually want your help, that are gonna take advantage of your help. Like there are so many people that really genuinely care about wanting to grow and change, and there will be equal give and take exchange there. So whatever reason it is that you got into that, if you just love loving, if you just love loving people and loving on people, that is not a problem. That gifting is your gift, but it can get dysfunctional when you spend it on people who are just going to take and do not love you back. You know, that's the difference that I'm saying. So stop, you know, it's like, don't let that person exploit that gift and make you feel like that gift is like, a lot of times what we think is our biggest weakness is actually our strength. If you'd love to provide and protect, that's great. But some people don't want to provide shouldn't be getting our energy of providing and protecting because they are not safe back to us. They put us in danger. Or if there's somebody purposely always creating scenarios where you are in danger and you're always, you know, like picking up after them and like cleaning up their messes. That's not okay, guys. That's not okay. And you allowed it. You allowed it. We allow that kind of stuff. But a lot of times it's because we're not aware. We're not aware that it's happening. We're not aware what these type of people are. And that's why I'm feeling like I can speak on this. I have a support group for this kind of thing. I don't like talking about it though. I really am in a place where I just want to help people transform their life and figure out these patterns that they've been in, why they allowed themselves to get in these dysfunctional, toxic relationships, and helping them heal and transform. That's my like new platform now. So I don't really like talking about abuse, but I was asked to talk about it today because you are not going to be able to grow. You're not going to be able to get empowered. You're not going to be able to shine your light. You're not going to be able to find peace, joy, bliss, happiness, true love, any of those things when you are saddled to toxic, when you've hitched your trailer to toxic people, toxic friends, toxic family members. It's really, 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 you got to be careful because basically when you give that energy exchange to someone that's like dealing with the devil, and I know that sounds really bad, but if they are in dysfunction and hate and they spend their life doing that and you allow them into your world, your energy sphere, you're basically creating like an opening for all that to get to you and possibly put you in harm's way. That's why it's so important to protect your energy and really stay away from those people. And the way to do it is to starve it out. That's why they said stop giving so many fucks. Give zero. Those type of people, you need to give zero. They don't like to work too hard. You're an easy target, so eventually they'll give up because you're now rising at a different vibration. They don't want to work too hard. They'll go find someone else. I hate to say that, but they'll go find someone else to take energy from. And a lot of times, it's that simple where it's just that energy exchange needs to change. You need to pull back your energy and literally give nothing, starve that situation out. And they'll usually, one of two things will happen. They'll go find someone else to take the energy from because they really need it to survive, or it will force them to go within and change, and get divine energy, source energy, universe energy for themselves and heal and grow. But that again is not your responsibility to take that all on. We need to really get clear on what's theirs and what's mine, there needs to be balance. Like community can be a great thing if it's balanced, if there's an equal give and take and you can speak your truth and you're safe to do so and share and be vulnerable and all that jazz. So if you don't know, so the future then would be speaking your truth. And sometimes that's just to yourself. Thank you, Gabriel, for helping me to speak with integrity. Isn't she gorgeous? I honestly did not know that Gabriel was a female. I don't know why. I always had a vision of a man in my mind, like Archangel Michael, but I love that she's a girl. Look how gorgeous. Look at those beautiful wings. So, speak your truth, Archangel Gabriel. Thank you for helping me to speak with integrity. The angels around you at this time are encouraging you to speak your truth. It has reached a point in your life where you must be honest with yourself and all those around you. If you're holding anything in or feel you need to share something with those who matter most to you, then do so. As you share your truth, you will create an openness in your heart that will enable you to receive extra support and guidance from the angels in heaven. And like I said, sometimes you speaking your truth is not going to go over very well. And that's a really good sign you're with somebody who you no longer should be with or around, depending on how they respond. If you're constantly saying yes when you really want to say no, or someone around you is making you feel that you're losing all sense of yourself, now's the time to speak up. The angels are encouraging you to be honest about what you want. You may be telling yourself you don't want a specific situation in your life, but it's time to be real. What do you want? Whatever your truth, Archangel Gabriel is encouraging you to speak up now. Gabriel's name means God's strength, and she's the angel of mothers and of communication, the ultimate nurturing angel who can help us feel safe and supported in emotional situations, especially if they have anything to do with integrity or truthfulness. Gabriel surrounds all those who call on her in a pink and white nurturing light, and she holds us like a mother. Allow her into your life so you can speak honestly with the light of integrity in your heart. Telemarketer, again, always calling, sorry. I'm not a bad business owner, I just get so many calls and I recognize that number. And even if I'm a bad business owner, you don't need to own that, that's mine, right? Just like we were talking about. So if you're around someone who's making you feel like you're losing your sense of self, it could literally be because that is actually what they're doing. They are desiring for you to lose your sense of self. And sometimes it's unintentionally happening and you just need to gently, firmly create new boundaries in this situation will resolve. But depending on the level of toxicity, most of the people that I've run into that are really severely toxic, they don't like it and it actually usually gets worse. But that's still okay. Avoiding confrontation to the point where you just don't want to have that conversation because you just don't want to have the confrontation, actually is putting you more in harm's way. The longer you stay, the more energy you're giving up and they're depleting you. I think that's it. If you don't know the signs that you're being emotionally manipulated, I do have a little quick list. It can go on and on and on. I'm really well versed in this area. If you need support, please reach out. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I have a lot of experience and I've healed a lot and I've transformed and I have a lot to share. I'd be happy to share. So 9 signs you've been emotionally manipulated. This is not for me. I got this from a resource. I don't want to plagiarize. I can't remember what it is, but okay. People give you ultimatums, like do this or else kind of thing. And they may do it in a nice way. It may sound sweet the way they do it. They may not come across all angry. Lots of times when those sweet ways don't work, they get nasty and then you see their true colors. But a lot of times it starts with sweetness. It comes off, oh, I just love you so much that if you do this, this will happen. Or, like, okay, people use your tears against you. People give you the silent treatment. Okay, now the silent treatment in this is not like what I was saying about pulling energy away. There's a difference between you've been abused and you've been the victim and you need to pull your energy away and give somebody the silent treatment than giving the silent treatment as punishment to get something from somebody. There's a difference. People playing the victim. Sometimes you actually are the victim. Sometimes somebody's pretending to be the victim and they're gaslighting you and they're projecting what they're doing to you onto them. They'll guilt you. They'll shame you. They'll skew facts. Like I said, they turn people against you. They'll create whole stories to get what they want. They'll twist your words around. Have you ever been in a conversation with somebody where you like really kindly, politely needed to address something was going on and before you know it, like conversation was going like spiraling round and round and round and you're like banging yourself against the wall, it felt like, and they twisted everything you said around. I've even had it where like by the end of it, they said they were hurting over the thing I came to them saying I was hurt over. It's whack job stuff. They use your past against you. I added that. And they also use what you appear to be weaknesses. They use that as against you too. It's not good, guys. And I just truly, honestly believe sometimes you need to burn bridges in order to stop yourself from crossing them again, because these are dysfunctional patterns that have probably been going on for a really long time, whether with this person or just in general in your life. So I know this was really, really long and it was heavy and I didn't want to do this message. I hope it was helpful for somebody though, of bringing awareness of where you could be putting yourself in danger. And I'm not kidding when I say that. It's no joke. Some of these people, it's no joke with them. And some people, they have gotten really used to having whacked out boundaries with you and they just need a gentle push in the right direction. You just need to gently say, this is no longer something I'm gonna do. If that's a problem for you, cool, we can part ways, but this is how I'm gonna do me now. And a lot of times people aren't aware that they've been doing that and they feel bad and they course correct and it heals and it grows. But there are some people, now there's, not a lot, but there are some that are like intentionally, I just feel like they kind of sold their soul and they're gonna, I don't know, like people are gonna pay for it and you don't need to be part of that. And you may need a little bit more spiritual help when it comes to something like that. You may not, just cutting cords may not do the trick. You may actually need to call on the angels. This beautiful goddess here. God to help you with that. Like if you recognize, oh shit, I think this is happening to me. You're going to need supernatural strength to help you through that. I truly, honestly believe that. Just setting the cord cutting intention is great and everything. For like low grade toxicity and dysfunction. But sometimes there's really higher grade. And honestly, the more powerful of a person you are deep down inside, the more loving you are, caring, giving, I feel like you're even more of a target, because I really do feel like this is kind of a spiritual battle right now. And like darker things do not want to see light workers and loving people and people who really have a lot of power. They do not want you to know how powerful you are and how awesome you are. And there's like no one like you. They don't want you to know that, because when you step into that power, holy man, a lot can happen, especially if it's like a spiritual battle realm. Think about it that way, guys. Not everybody is in that category, but think about it like that. And I feel like we're kind of entering a new time like that. Like World War III is going to be spiritual. And just think about that, like the warring forces, like imagine it. Some people can see angels and stuff like that, warring angels, and it's really like heavy stuff. So I didn't want to do that today. I didn't want to put that heavy on you for a Wednesday, but hope that helps somebody. And know I'm saying all of this in love and personal experience. But gosh, guys, what's on the other side of that is more peace and joy, though. And then using your gifts, like if you love to help people, if you love to love people, if you love to support people, if you love to provide for people, if you love to create community, all those gifts can shine in the right environment. Like I think on my support group page, I think the quote is like something about you change the environment to help somebody grow. You don't the environment needs to sometimes change in order for something to really thrive. If you're asking a beautiful flower to grow on dry, thorny ground with tons of weeds, it's not likely to happen. You need to really be aware of who around you, the situations around you, the people around you, the thoughts that you're thinking. What is in your garden? What weeds are in your garden that need to go? And what weeds just, I don't know. I'm going to go off on a tangent on that, but you get what I'm saying. Tend your garden so that you can flourish and grow what the healthy fruits and vegetables and flowering things that want to bloom are in there, because you are really putting yourself in danger and everyone that you love in danger by opening up that door to that kind of toxicity coming into your life. And it can just be an energetic exchange. Even just like me, if I'm trying to help somebody, because I really think they need to heal and grow and whatever, but they don't want it and they're like got a lot of toxicity in your life, I'm opening up the door for me to be absorbing a lot of that. Just kind of like I said with that phone call. So, set your intention even before you even get on social media in the morning, before you make phone calls, that you're going to protect your energy. You're going to protect your space. You're going to protect your mind, your heart. And if that means you kind of need to get away from people for a while and figure out who you can trust and who you can't trust, that's all right. Go within. But not everybody will take advantage of you. And that's probably something you've gotten used to. And that's what's, created this low self-esteem. You've maybe got to the point where you thought you didn't deserve success, love, and abundance. Thought you didn't deserve to have peace and joy and harmony. It's time to set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem and being attached to those low vibrational toxic things. You don't need them. There are so many other ways. To gain success, love, and abundance. And you may need to ask for help. But overall theme, you're giving too many whats to the wrong people. And if you don't know who is right, take all that energy of all the whats that you gave to that person and start turning it to yourself. Stop texting, stop stalking, stop checking up on them, stop worrying about them. Spend your time on someone who's worth it, and who is worth it. You get out of the ridiculousness. Life does not need to be that crazy and dramatic and chaotic. And some people, they thrive off that. And it's like a cloud of tumbleweed everywhere they go. They just create destruction everywhere they go. Don't be part of it, is what I feel like we're being asked today. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Hope you have a great day. Let this be a reminder to us to have an awesome day. Reach out if you need any support or help. And especially like with the giftings, like protect your gifts, protect who you really are. These are the stuff that you are made out of. Do not let anybody destroy it. A lot of times those people that are really like that, they're very intuitive. They know exactly who you are before you even do. And they do not want you to know how powerful, loving, beautiful, amazing you are. And the abundance, they want it for themselves. They may see that you're going to leave them in the dust and they want what you have got coming to you. You may have a blessing on your life that they are trying to stop or take for themselves. Claim your birthright. Claim abundance for yourself. This is your birthright. Success, love, and abundance. It's not theirs. It's not theirs. Claim what's yours. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Reach out if you need some support. Happy Wednesday.